Question 3.64. The captain of a boat wants to travel directly across a river that flows due east with a speed of 1 meter per second. He starts from the south bank of the river and heads towards the north bank. The boat has a speed of 6.10 meter per second with respect to the water. What direction in degrees should the captain steer the boat? And here they have mentioned that 90 degree is east, 180 degree is south, 270 degree is west, and 360 degree is north. So let us first sketch the problem. You have a river and the captain of a boat wants to travel directly across the river from the south bank to the north bank. The river has a velocity due east, and let us call this as velocity of river VR. So in what direction must the captain steer his boat in order to travel directly across the river? Now, if the captain were to direct his boat straight from the south bank to the north bank of river, because of the river flowing to the east, the boat will be drifted towards the east in this manner. In order to compensate for this, the captain needs to steer his boat at an angle west of north so that the x component of the velocity of boat can cancel the effect of river. So the velocity of the boat in the river must be directed in this manner. Now let us write down the values of these velocity. Velocity of river is 1 meter per second. Velocity of boat in the river is 6.10 meter per second. And this velocity is making an angle theta with respect to the vertical. And we need to find this angle theta because that's the angle we need to steer the boat so that it can go directly from the south bank to the north bank. Now from the figure we deduce that the x component of boat's velocity must be equal in magnitude but opposite in direction to the velocity of river to compensate for the drift towards the right. So we can write the x component of boat's velocity vbx to be equal to velocity of river just in magnitude. X component of boat's velocity can be calculated by taking vb sine theta again from the figure. Because the y component here is attached to the angle theta, so that will be related to cosine theta, whereas the x component is away from the angle theta, so you have to associate it with sine theta. So we write vb sine theta to be equal to velocity of river. We need to find the angle theta, so we will divide with velocity of boat on both sides. So we get sine theta equals VR over VB. We can find the angle theta by taking sine inverse of this. So sine inverse of velocity of river over velocity of boat. That gives me sine inverse of 1 over 6.10. That gives you the angle as 9.43 degree. So the captain must steer his boat at an angle of 9.4 degree west of north.